Well, this is going to be the example of what's going on with this guy so far. He's only level 91. There's a lot to improve on him, but I found that Delve really gives you a lot of experience. It's a lot of fun, safe. You can adjust the safety level, and I enjoy it down here. So let's get into this build guide and do the best I can. I'll get you up to speed, and you'll be able to do stuff like this. This is a triple Azurite node, I think, so it's going to be a little more interesting. But basically, I just sit in the middle of this stuff and get good EXP per hour, and we're at 91 right now. So there's still a lot of room for improvement ahead. And let's just knock this guy out and that guy out. Oh, it's going to be the what do you call it? Maybe the dragon on this one? Let's see. I call it the dragon. I don't know what it is. And here we go. And then we'll get into the build guide right after this. I just wanted to show you what it does so far. Come on. And you can do this really cheaply. The only slightly expensive thing is the weapon, but you can get a cheaper one for Chaos instead of this one cost 5 Divine. We'll get into that in a second. Oh, here's the guy. And done. Nice. And we're using Cyclone of Tumult, but we're moving really fast, so it's not a big issue. What is that guy doing? Alright. I'll see you in there. Hello and welcome to Path of Exile, Necropolis League. And this video, for better or worse, is going to be a build guide for Cyclone of Tumult Raider. It's very off meta. There's barely anyone playing it, but I enjoyed it a lot. I enjoyed it last league. I got my last league, I got him up to like 11,000 health, and he could really do well, and it was a lot of fun. So in this video, we're going to go over the gear I'm using, and I'm only at level 91, and this is not endgame gear by any stretch. All this will get replaced and improved. This is just for a casual player that's having fun, nothing too expensive. Almost all of this is just chaos, and then we're going to go over the flasks. I'll put a link down below that I made a video how to craft these flasks very cheaply, but these are really valuable. You can actually make money reselling these. And we'll go over the skill tree. So let's do it, and let's get into it. Oh boy. And people have been asking, so I'll have the path of building down below in the description, the link to the video down below, and if I forget, just let me know and I'll add that back in. But I'll do my best to go over every item. So here we go. Oh boy. So let's start with the class that I picked, and then the skill tree that in its current form at level 91. It'll be adjusted somewhat. And then if we end up with an Adorned Jewel, then it gets even adjusted even more. I end up putting in an Adorned Jewel here, and then switching over to clustered jewels. But right now, this is just a normal not an endgame type build. Adorned jewels can cost 100 divine sometimes, so we're not going to get into that one. So I chose Raider. A lot of people go Slayer, and they go down here, but I chose the Ranger class, and then I ascended to Raider. And the reason being is this right here. These two, and this one add up to 230% onslaught, and then it even improves more after that. But it's permanent onslaught, so we get 46% movement speed and attack speed permanently, and it's just a great thing. And then I come over here for this for more. This is more along the lines of more damage, and then we increase our maximum fury, and then this is duration. I don't have any evasion, so anything evasion related is useless to me on here, which is a little bit weird, but oh well. And then right here, we're going to get more movement speed, more attack speed, damage from each of our frenzy charges. And we can even get a few more frenzy charges fairly cheaply. Right now we have 5, but we can go up from there. So that's why I start there. And when you first start out, you're probably going to level this with something like Molten Strike or some other melee type skill. And if it's a strike skill, you're going to want to beeline right over here for this and get that second one, the non-val strike skills, target an additional one until you switch over to Cyclone. And I switched to Cyclone when I got Terminus Est at level 51. So until then, level with something else and you'll be in good shape. And then back out of that once you because Cyclone is not a strike skill, so it doesn't target one additional one. Okay, so we're just going here. We're going to get some attack speed and dexterity. We're going to get this. This is actually, oddly enough, because if you add these up, 4% life and 8, that's 12 life for 2 of those. And let's say you wanted to get life here, it's only 10% life, so we get a little bit of bonus. We're stun immune, so the stun thing doesn't really help us, but the regen is kind of nice. And then I just come right over here. We get a bit of damage and leech. If you want early on, until you can handle your mana issues, I don't use any mana in this build. It's free to cast, and there's a few tricks I do. So if you want early on, you want to come over here and get these nodes here. This one, this one, this one, and the instant light leech. This will be enough to fix your mana issues. These two here into here until you get to the point where you can get the gear that I have on so that mana doesn't become an issue at all. So we come back through here, easy stuff, and I'll let you look at these. Unwavering stance, so we can't be stunned. We come up here, and this is all damage. The jewels I use are just these. These are cheap jewels, like 4 chaos. I got them for. Let's see which I just bought this one for 4 chaos, or maybe 8 chaos. Not very much, but it was just on there. I listed it. And they're not great. These are not perfect by any stretch. They're not even. They're not perfect at all. And I replaced that with a chance to maim, just because I didn't need. I think it was dexterity there. And then we come right up here. I got a little bit of elemental. Let's see if we do we need that? Are we overcapped? We are, so we can back out of that. Perfect. We'll apply that. So we're overcapped still, barely. And we're going to come down here and spend it right here. Even more damage. Perfect. So you're going to be adjusting things as you go along. Then we come up here. We get this for the accuracy and the dexterity and intelligence. And then come up this way. You're going to get some more damage, more AoE right here for our Cyclone. And then we're going to come right down here. We're going to get the bleeds going with this. Nice. I still have to get some impales going probably on this character. I'll figure that out if I want to, but so far it's not really needed. The bleed, and then the 80% critical strike chance against bleeding enemies. Everything's... the bleeds land on these things really quickly. Everything's bleeding, so good deal. I needed some intelligence, so I did that. And then we came down here. AoE all through here. Some extra attack speed if enemies are close. They're always close. Come over here. I have a sword, so I got this one, this one. This is all crit related stuff. And then some range. We got range right here, range right here. This is the whole AoE node, a big AoE node right through here. And I took this one. And these. This is all crit related. This is a physical and physical overwhelm. Some more damage. More damage. Easy stuff. And then I scooped down through here. Got this. I took this for the resists and the armor. Resist and armor. And then life nodes. These are really good life nodes. And then you jump down here. And we're going to get a few things that are important right here. This one helps with the movement speed per frenzy charge. And we can have about 5 up at a time. And then, so that's an extra 10% move speed. 10% attack speed. But then this one is really nice. It raises our minimum frenzy charges. So we always have 1 on. And then 8% increased damage per frenzy charge, and a little bit better rates of getting kills and getting frenzy charges generated. Then I come up here and add 1 more frenzy charge. So this is basically the tree. It'll change a little bit, but I'll put the path of building there, and I hope this helps. And I just wanted to go over it in detail with you guys and explain it. More life nodes here, and you can definitely make adjustments. But that's the general gist of it. The things that are important. That's pretty important. Extra frenzy charges. Oh, right in here is where we get corrupted blood can't be inflicted on me. So it's not an issue. And the regular bleeds are handled with steel skin. They're automatically removed. So I think this covers the skill tree here. And we'll go from there. All right, next up, let's go over the items and then the gems, and then last we'll go over these flasks as well and how I set these up. This I think was 1 divine, but you could probably get a 6 link a little bit worse than this for a little bit less, maybe 40 or 50 chaos. And by level 90, 91, you should be getting into the decently chaos priced items. So this one right here, it actually recovers 5% of life on kill. It's kind of nice. And it's basically nothing fancy about this. In fact, I'll be working towards getting rid of that 11% to the all, or maybe just changing it completely to a different 6 link setup or different armor. But this is an okay piece of armor. It's not terrible, but I could use Eldritch currency to change the implicit. The implicit's the thing at the top there. I could change it. There's definitely better implicits that I can get. You get 2 of those. I don't have any implicits on this. I don't have any implicits. Oh, I got 1 on there. I rolled that. That's not even a good one. I just haven't got to that point yet of getting those rolled and correctly done. So, armor. A lot of armor on there. That's good. And then life on plate armor. Cool, with a 6 link. Then the helm is junky. I mean, that is literally junky. I could do a lot better than that. This is junky as well. This was just I had on my 11. I just haven't got around to changing it up yet. The boots, 35% move speed. That's nice. But the life is okay. Some regen is all right. And then the cold, these aren't great by any stretch. And they were cheap. I think like 10 chaos. These gloves are really cheap, and you can find them cheap, like 1-2 chaos, I think. Let's see, I'll just press F1 and bring this up. 8 chaos, sorry, I misspoke. 8-9 chaos, you can get this. And what these do is bleeding enemies that I kill explode, dealing 5% of their maximum. That's like the old explodey chest, kinda, sorta. And it just makes it so that, like, big packs of things explode and do damage and chain. It just helps. I enjoy it, so I have a good time with that one. And it does what else? Attacks have a 25% chance, 32% increased attack damage against bleeding enemies. Nice. This is, I think it's technically best in slot. There might be something new, but it's a best in slot type of belt. And the key to it are those 2 lines where it says the 38% more and the 38% less. The less one, we want it to be lower, the number to be lower, and the more one, we want it to be higher. And you can get that up to about 48% on the more. So, and that needs to have catalysts on it, and there's different ways. So these can get really expensive. They can get into the cost of divines, but this one was, let's see, 15, 16 chaos, not much at all. But I do like this belt, but you can have a lot more, there's a lot more to it. Plus it has some life on it, and then also it gains life, 50 life when you stun somebody. So that's cool. Not bad. How I got around using mana. If we hover over this, notice there's no mana cost for my Cyclone of Tumult. And you want to switch over to Cyclone of Tumult. I know it says that it says 10% less movement speed down there per stage. We get 6 stages. Don't worry about that, because it's really not an issue. I'll go at the end of this, and I'll go around on a map moving around, and I move really, really fast. So it's not an issue at all. But it costs no mana, and how we pull that off is just 2 rings right here where it says you can get 2 rings that have either the channeling is -3 to mana total cost, and it has to say channeling skills, because this is a channeling skill, and so it has to say that, not just mana cost. So we got 2 of those, and these are pretty junky rings too, but I think they cost like 10 chaos or less. Not much. Nice. So we went over, and I'll pause there and let you check it out. We went over everything except the weapon. The weapon, this costs 5 divine. And it's going to get more expensive from here. The DPS on it is 835. That's decent. That's like middle of the road right now. But I mean, you can get up to 1300, I think now. It's a lot. But if you drop this down to about 710-ish, I just looked on the trade site. You can get a weapon for that has 710 DPS, and it has to be physical DPS. See, you don't want anything that says, like, you'll see something and it'll say fire damage, 200 to 400 fire damage. You don't want that because it's really not. It doesn't equate to your actual damage very well. It's a weird thing. Not only that, because we use where is it? Brutality. I can't do any elemental damage or chaos damage, and that's good because if there's maps that say reflects elemental damage, I don't do any, so I can do those maps, but we're purely physical based. So yeah, you don't want to you don't want to do that, or that's the case. So the weapon, you want to look for a good phys-based weapon. So when you're on the trade site, just search for DPS, a two-hander, and you can use any of them. If you're doing swords, you have to adjust your tree a little bit and not use the sword-based ones, but there's only, I think, one that I'm doing with swords down there so far. And you're in good shape. So next we'll do the links. So let's go to that step next. And if you have any questions or I misstate something, let me know and I'll correct it down below, or I'll give you some more information that I didn't know about. So feel free to comment down below. So we'll start off with this one, the Cyclone of Tumult. Now, you also want to quality these things up. If you hold Alt over it, it's 5% more attack speed per stage. That's really powerful. That's that's 30% more attack speed. That's huge. I didn't know it was that good, actually. Yeah, so you want to quality this thing up to 20, and then there's ways to improve that even more, I believe. But so I got that there. Then we come down here for faster attacks. I qualityed that one up to add attack speed. And same thing, qualityed up, might as well, because it adds some increased physical damage. And it's not even level 20. These gems aren't even 20 yet. I've been going along. Fortify, that's how we get the Fortify up really easily and keep it sustained. And it does some more damage too, so it's not horrible. It's a mix. If you can get away without having Fortify on and you want to just go for some other DPS-based support gem, you could do that as well. And then Brutality. Brutality is just flat out damage. And it's improved in quality 20 as well. Lastly, it seems weird. There's the next stage of this build. I'll be getting rid of this, and I'll be putting probably like Pulverize or something on here that adds more damage. But right now, I used a quality 20 gem because it adds another 10. So we're at 42, a total of 52 life gain per hit. And it's a hit to our DPS, but it makes survivability is through the roof with that on there like that, because everything I'm hitting, and we're hitting so often. I think we're up to like 3.8 hits per second. So and that's per creature. So if you're in a crowd of creatures, you're just getting hundreds of you're getting 200 plus health back per second from each creature. It's just a lot, and it just keeps us up really nicely. And then let's see. So we've done that one. Let's take a look over here. Vengeance. This is purely optional. You could do you could automate a war cry instead if you want to do that. You could do cast when damage taken with that summons a. You could link a bunch of. This is your optional thing. I've tried a few different things, and I'll probably give war cries a try, and automated war tries, with that automatic call, something like that. It just got introduced this league, but I do vengeance on here. My vengeance, it's not terrible. It does 40,000, 50,000 damage, I think, when this is all fired up. It does the physical damage. It does some pulverized support, and this I'm just kind of leveling up here with it. And then life gain on hit, so it actually hits in an AoE, a big extended AoE, and that way, if I'm not paying attention, or if I'm on another screen right here, and some little creature just comes over and hits me, it just takes care of it for me. this is optional, and you can do whatever you want with this. I just do vengeance, and it actually, it actually helps too. It's hitting stuff when I'm in big packs. It actually does, it makes an impact, so it's not terrible. And then we're gonna go up here. Leap Slam. If you have Leap Slam without faster attacks, it feels clunky. I really like it with faster attacks. It just smooths it out so you can jump around. I would say I don't use Leap Slam because I'm moving so fast. I don't really use it too much, and this is going to be almost optional as well. Almost. Maybe put a dash here and then get rid of this, and I'd have an extra slot. And then we have the Totem with Culling Strike and faster attacks. So this one's supported by these two. This one's supported by these two. So if I want to jump on something that's under 10% damage, the Culling Strike will automatically kill it with a leap as well. But then this does it. Pretty cool. I like this, and this hangs out. So we've gone over this, and now we're going to get into the new tech that was introduced. Last league, we would I put Steel Skin here, and it just automatically fired off. Every time we moved around, it would just fire off, and that was not. But they took that away, and I was like, this is terrible. But I don't have a lot of socket pressure on this build, as you can see. In fact, last league I didn't have any sockets on my boots at all because you got movement speed by having, not having sockets in your boots. But that's gone from last league. But this league, they introduced this. This, right, where is it? Oh, right here. Automation. So I put that on there, and this triggers the other skills that it's linked to. So this one, let's see. This triggers Steel Skin, Phase Run, which helps with my speed. It does the more damage. It does a bunch of things. All that, but mainly I wanted it, oddly enough, not for the be able to phase through creatures, because Cyclone automatically, if you're spinning, you move through creatures anyways. But the little bit of movement speed buff, that increased movement speed, really nice. And then Withering Step also has movement speed as well, and it's a decaying movement speed, but it's a buff that does movement speed. So it's a beautiful thing, and I moved it onto this 5 link. I wish I had a 6 link because I'd link another one on here. You can see I don't have socket pressure. This thing's just left open. I haven't bothered with it yet. The next weapon will be a 6 link, and I'll have another thing automated on here. Now, the problem with this is it costs a chunk of mana, but then I put Life Tap right here. So now when I turn it on, instead of costing, here's how I turn it on right here. Instead of costing mana, it just automatically fires off and it just uses a little bit of life. And that's the Life Tap thing going on. Pretty cool. And it just sits there. I'm not doing anything. It's just doing it. This is how fast I move normally now. Also, this is automated as well, so this fires off when it's full and you're in a map. It'll fire off, so I get another 46% movement speed. So that's how I handle the movement speed. I just like moving fast. So that's the setup with that. I highly suggest if you're a melee and you want to have this, at least have this one. If you don't have Life Tap and you have the mana to do it, go ahead and go just this one, Steel Skin, Phase Run, and Withering Step. Or you could do Molten Shell. You could do some other guard skill as well. But this one takes my bleed away, a regular bleed. So I'm pretty much immune to regular bleeds, and then I'm completely immune to corrupted blood, and I can't be stunned. All right, so last one right here. I have the War Banner. I don't even bother dropping this. I should be in the habit of it, but a lot of times I forget to pick it back up. So I just leave it on and I just fire it up and forget about it, and I just treat it like a buff. And it's whatever. I just don't. It's not optimal, but I just throw it on there. Precision. I had the space, and it also helps with accuracy, and then it also helps with crit strike chance. And I leveled it up to 16, which is, it takes 151 mana, but that's enough to, I'm good with that. And I stopped, I right clicked on it, and so it's not gaining any more levels from there. Purity of Elements. This is a big one, especially for Delve, and I like Delve, and you can see I enjoy Delve a lot. And not only that, but delving to get EXP is, I think it's really, really nice. I got 530 million at level 89, I think. And I was getting 530 million EXP per hour, maybe 87. And the last level I was getting over 150 million. Because it goes down as you get closer and closer to 100. It's the formula, it makes it harder. The EXP per hour is more difficult. But I can still get this up to a decent level. But Purity of Elements, if we hold down Alt over it, this is really important. And I improved it with the 20 because then, let's see, you can't really see it. Let's see if we can take this out of here. There. The 5% to all elemental resist just from the 20 quality, that's worth doing, so it's another plus 5%. But in total, I'm at 38. It should go to 39% once it hits the next level. And we'll fire that back on there. And it also does this. So there's the all resist is pretty nice, but then I'm immune to, this is too powerful. I'm immune to ignites, scorched, I can't be chilled, I can't be frozen, which is really important. No brittle, I can't be shocked or sapped. And the shocked is really cool. You know those pylons that are lightning things and they're chasing you around? They don't bother me at all. A lightning storm will go off, doesn't bother me. There's fire tornadoes, they don't bother, nothing. I could still be burned on the ground. Like ground fire burns you still. But the other stuff, all 7 different things, I'm immune to it. And I can't be stunned, can't be frozen. None of the bleeds affect me. There's just so many things that are just taken care of with this build that I just like it a lot. I have 0 spell suppression and I have 0 evasion, and I don't mind it. It works out well for me, oddly enough. And what else we have? A War Banner, and then Blood and Sand. And that's just more damage, kind of condenses things, and it makes it a little bit like this. Versus if I go like that, it's a little bit wider. See how it stretches out to about there. But I usually go in Blood Stance because I want the condensed damage. And this is big enough AoE for what I do. Okay, so those are all those. I hope I covered the gems correctly. We covered the gear. And then we're going to cover, let's see. Down here is fine. These are the setups. I use the Ancestral Protector as a damage boost. It's quite a big damage boost too. Let's see. This is just the character sheet, so it's not going to give you the real number. But let's see. We'll turn this off without that going on. 68, just to give you a little bit of a notice. 68 to 81,000. But this gets up to, when I'm out there fighting, this just the sheet here, which doesn't calculate anything with the bleeds and all that kind of stuff, gets up to 300,000. Pretty nice. And that's at 91, and we're not even optimized. We'll get that well into the million plus, even more. All right. I'm going to add the path of building, but I'm also going to add a link to the video about how to make these flasks. And these flasks are important. Ideally, just for sanity's sake, let's say I have a diamond flask. Well, I'd like to roll it where there's a prefix and a suffix on there. And when I roll it, you'll see in the video I go into detail on how to do this. Ideally, I'd like the diamond flask to have the crit right there, the chance to crit. I'd like that over here. But if you roll something and it's really good and it's tier 1 on the prefix and suffix, you gotta do what you gotta do. But you probably sell it off and then hopefully buy one. I'd prefer crit on the crit because you can't stack it. Like I can't go crit. I can't do crit across the board because it overwrites itself. So I just do. I have a sulfur flask for increased damage and consecrated ground. It fires off, and this one. These are I think I made all these myself, and I might have bought one for one of them for 10 chaos, but they're bad. These are not good. These need to be improved, and the top tier ones cost 5 plus divine, but you can actually roll them, get lucky. You just got to have a good base. Like this base is at item level 54. I've had it for a while. I've got to buy a new one because That's a tier 3 and tier 3. That wasn't bad for an item level 54, but I need the tier 1, versions of this. And you can go for increased duration. You can do a bunch of different things. If you have a mage blood, then you'd want the decreased duration, increased effect prefix, because then it's 25% increased effect, and you don't care about duration because mage blood makes them permanent. In fact, you wouldn't even need the used wind charges full. So I've got this one. That's the crit one. This is the one for extra damage and consecrated ground. This helps boost speed and just has me fly around. And if I press spacebar, I can actually use it as well. I can use it on demand, but I generally don't. And then this was more armor. So when this one comes up, our armor is, let's see what our armor is, 49. And then when our armor comes up automatically, it goes up to 59. Not terrible, but not great, not terrible. So I think that covers it. And then we'll go do, let's see, we could go do a map. I guess we can go do a map. Okay, I'll see that. I do a lot of delving, so I have these two scarabs, or a scarab and an all flame set up, and I'll show you what this does. But just take a note here: we're at 30,000 or 3,000 sulfite and 1,600 azurite. So if we come over here, you're going to be pretty amazed at this. Let's see. I haven't tried this one yet, but we'll see. So we'll stick this in here. We'll make sure there's no reflects on it. There aren't, and we're going to put. We'll put both. We'll put that whole stack in there. And I think everything's good. We'll activate this, and then hopefully this will be a high. Oh, it's only an. I was hoping for the pack density to be high, but this is okay. There's a 5. Well, maybe we'll put it on this guy. Let's do. I don't know, one of these. Let's put it on this guy. And if we hover over it, it gets pack monsters reward sulfite on death. There we go. Activate. And not only that, here's the second little trick. Right here, I took this node right here, and I get it 10% of the sulfite that I get is as azurite, so that's important to note. And then I think right over here, the next one I'll spend here that I can have a chance at doubling it. So let's go in here and see what happens. Oh boy. Here we go. All right, let's see what Cursed Crypt. And this is live. This is not. There we go. And I got 200 azurite out of those things. And we'll take that. This is a lot. You're going to be amazed at how much azurite. And this is a tier 7 map, so I don't even know how much you can get out of the bigger ones. Also, easy. The thing is, those delve creatures that are. They hit hard with those spiky things. They really do. They surprised me before. There's 2,000 azurite. We got a lot from that pack. That was like a lucky pack. And the thing is, I'm definitely going to clear this whole thing because there's so much there, and I want the azurite and the sulfite. So, and you can take the azurite and buy resonators and sell those. They sell for almost a chaos each. They used to sell up for a lot more easy, but I think other people are using this trick too. And we'll go down here, and I just want to clear this whole map out. And it's going to be interesting to see what. Oh, here we go. What the final result is. Easy. There's 850 azurite and 2,000 sulfite just from that guy. Easy. Here, we gotta go around this way. Oh, I'll take this. Jeweler's orbs, really? And there's even more there. Oh boy, I can't wait to get the doubling too. A chance to double. And I've improved the shrines too, so you get double the effect, and it lasts for 1 minute and 20 seconds. Easy. Any shrine does. And we'll take those guys out. Let's see how many. We know what we started with. I think it was 1,600 and ish on both the Azurite and the Sulfite. So we can do even better. I've done it where I put 2 of those all flames in. So, and they were on the high pack nodes, and it capped me out. It's so fast on the Sulfite. I was like, what? I was like insta capped. I had like 22,000 or something or more Sulfite from one portion of a map. And they only cost a chaos to buy. So, oh, we'll get these guys. 172 that time, so that one wasn't a good roll. And also I get increased movement speed and all that kind of stuff from... But this is how fast I'm moving around in these things. There's the, what do you call it? Oh, there's something over there too. The Nico node on the Atlas tree improves your movement speed by 45%, and your damage by 105, and it helps with your resistance cap too. It raises that by 3, I think. And let's go over here. And that's the thing about having this on. It's just really nice. Wow, look at that Sulfite. Oh, we're almost full on Sulfite. This is ridiculous how much you get out of here. Oh, here's the guy. We got another... Yeah, we almost... Are we capped? I think we are capped. Nice. Easy stuff. So we can, in one map... granted, I'm not at the 60,000 carrying capacity, but still... let's, oh, I'll take that map. And besides that, that was a really easy map too. So, let's take a look at the new result. We got, almost 7,000, Azurite out of that. That can buy you about 20 of those, resonators. That's about 20 chaos. So, you really should be buying... They're not easy to buy, but you should be buying those all flames and throwing those in your maps, getting the resonators, jumping in there and buying resonators and selling them in bulk. And I think a lot of people are doing that because the price used to be 3 to 4, and now it's down to 1 chaos per. But it's a couple things that are going against it there. We got that. So I hope this helps. Oh, we're gonna spend that right here just for fun. Now we might even get more. I look forward to it just for fun. But that's how easy it is to get Sulfite so that you can level up smoothly. If you guys have any questions, just let me know. But this is the best I can do for a build guide. I went over the weapons, how to get that. You're going to use the trade. And this is a trade league, so you're going to, in trade league, you're going to... One of the most important things is get this weapon and get a good physical-based weapon. No elemental damage on it. Just go with Fizz damage, search by that. There's a field you can type in to give you a minimum deep DPS and search it up and make sure the quality is 20% or higher, even if possible, and go from there. And you'll be in good shape. And I hope this helps, guys. Enjoy. I've got this character is going to get stronger and stronger and stronger. He really is. It'll be pretty fun. Have a good one and enjoy. I hope this helps.